What up, peeps? What a freaking game, man. You guys know I'm a Longhorn fan. Texas just lost the game against Ohio State. Got to eat a little crow here. My stepdad and stepsister are from Ohio, and of course they're big Ohio State fans. I told them I wasn't going to be friends with them until after the game, so I'll be friends with them in the morning. Man, what a game. Texas loses 28-14. The game was not that far off, folks. If you watch the game, Texas it was 21-14. Texas had the ball first and goal from the 1 yard line, man. First and goal from the 1 yard line. They were battling hard, ran the ball, and um, lost a yard, I think. So it was second and goal from the 2 yard line, and then Sark does a sweep to the left side. And as he sweeps to the left side, Texas loses 7 yards. And then on 3rd and 7, the pass got tipped. And so once the pass got tipped, it went down to the ground. Fourth down, Texas 4th and 7. Well, fourth and goal from the 7 yard line. Quinn drops back to pass. Our right tackle, Cam Williams, doesn't put one hand on Sawyer, and Sawyer gets a strip sack on Quinn Ewers, runs it back for a touchdown, and that's the end of the game, folks. 28-14 was the end of the game, and that was it. A lot goes on in this game, man. If you got to put any kind of blame on anything for this game, I know people are going to want to put things on Quinn Ewers, man. No, this was not anything to say bad about Quinn Ewers, man. Quinn Ewers played his butt off today, folks. He played outstanding today. I think the play call in there in the last drive there for Texas, with them getting the strip sack, first and goal from the 1 yard line, have no points to show for it. I think that has to fall on the head coach. The head coach not kind of realizing what's going on, and what's actually being just placed in front of him, I think is what lost in the game. First and goal from the 1, either power run that ball in, man. If you got to run it 4 straight times, challenge your interior offensive line and go in and do what they got to do, man. Torrey Beckton has already said this year that Jacob Majors was the strongest person on his team. So he's your center. You put a guy like Campbell there next to him. You got Hayden Conner. Man, you go play some bully ball, man. You're in the SEC. The SEC is a conference that is known for being big and physical, and fast. And that is one of those opportunities where you go and be big, physical, and fast, and you push somebody in front of you for 1 yard. Man, it's 3 feet. It's 3 feet. If we couldn't do that, we didn't deserve to win the game. We didn't do it on the first time. I would have tried it at least 2 or 3 more times. I'd have went all 4 down, same play. Or a variation where you do a play action from it and somebody wide open in the end zone. But I would have never done a sweep. And Sark did a sweep on that. And I think that cost us the game, man, because it put us behind the chains, being first and goal from the 1 down, now 3rd and 7. So 3rd and goal from the 7. That was the game. The Texas defense played extremely well. They had one bad drive in that game, the first drive. They had one bad play in the first half. They had the 75-yard play to actually end the first half. And they had the one drive on defense in the second half, man. The defense did a great job. Hey, O'Shea 04. I'm not neglecting that. Yes, Ohio State showed to be the better team today. Totally give them nothing but props. But also the play calling there in the fourth quarter on a first and goal from the 1 yard line is something that Sark got out coached. He got inside his head and he didn't do the right things. 2 things can be right. The better team today was Ohio State and they won. But also another thing that can be right is that the play calling on that last drive was not optimal. It wasn't optimal for winning football. And 2 things can be right at the same time. So give kudos to Ohio State. Great game. actually, folks, two great championship games or two great semifinal games. Man, the Penn State game was awesome. Seeing them, like take it to the wire against Notre Dame. And this game was a great game. It went down to the wire, folks. It went down to the wire, man. So great game, evenly matched teams. You saw that both teams fought to the end. And it was really it was a 14-point game on the board. But anybody who watched that game saw that game was a lot closer. It's more close to being tied up than it was a 14-point swing. So, anyways, Sark had a lot of options there in that last drive. That's one thing that is going to haunt me in this game, is that you had an opportunity to punch the ball in. All right, I mean, it's first and goal from the 1 yard line. You run it with Wisner. He gets stuffed for either like a half-yard loss, I think. But you got a big back there, man. His name's Jared Gibson. We call him Baby Rhino. Maybe you put him back there. Maybe let him push. But Wisner earned his key to be able to, tote the rock there. But I would have done it 2 or 3 more times. Or maybe I spread him out and go, like 12 personnel, maybe 11 personnel. And so that everybody can't be jumping up in the box. And then you allow Wisner to run the ball. Or maybe you spread him out and you let Arch Manning run the ball. Or you go back into the Arch package. There are so many more options that could have been had than what Texas rolled out there with running that sweep on that second play. Man, great game, though. Great game. It was a great game. Texas stopped the running game there for Ohio State, 24 rushes for 81 yards. Ohio State stopped the running game for Texas too, 29 rushes for 58 yards. Both quarterbacks had a really good game today, man. Great game. That's what you were scared, being jealous and coming back to steal Manning shine. He sucks. That's not it. I mean, being jealous and coming back. No, he wanted his draft stock up. He wanted this draft stock up, man. Anybody knows quarterbacks that play less than 24 games in college football and then go to the league are ones that usually, like flame out. Guys that play 24 or more are the ones who end up having a pretty decent career. The missed pass interference call was the worst missed call ever. Well, we had 3 of them that were missed. A lot of holding calls were missed. That holding call on the last scoring drive there for the offense for Ohio State, where the right tackle literally held Colin Simmons all the way around until Howard got that pass off and got a first down. That would have pushed it back to, I think, 3rd and 18, and now it's a whole different play. They didn't call the holding. There was a lot of missed calls here by the refs, but I'm not going to even put it there. Texas still had a chance to win the game, and they didn't. So Jay Skill says, I told you Quinn sucks. This is not a Quinn game. I'm sorry, that was not. If you looked at this game and thought that Texas lost this game because of Quinn Ewers, I really have to question how much football do you know, because Texas did not lose this game because of Quinn Ewers. Let's be honest. They did not lose this game. And look, I have a Sooner backing me up. Said you can't blame Ewers or Ohio State, which is the better team tonight. And if you're going to place any blame on anybody, you got to look at some of the plays that were called by the coaching staff when Texas was on the 1 yard line with first and goal from the 1. You can't put this game. So many missed throws. I count 2 missed throws by Quinn that were egregious missed throws. When I wouldn't even say egregious, he had a high throw to Matthew Golden, which he should have made. But guess what? Who it didn't matter, because in the next play they got a first down. All right, and then he had another play to Gunnar Helm. He threw it high. He was a little bit jittery. Threw it high. Gunnar got both hands in the ball. He got popped and he dropped the ball. Other than that, Quinn played a pretty damn good game. Look, I'm not with you, Jace, because I know you're probably mad because we lost the game, and I get it. But let's have a little bit of rational reads on here. This game was not on Quinn Ewers. Sorry. I'm not gonna, and I'm a guy that's pretty hard on Quinn. But that's not, this game is on Quinn Ewers. So Jagger says that pitch in the red zone was questionable. Yeah, it was the dagger. Everybody knows Ohio State has sideline speed. They're a very fast team. They're very comparable to Texas. A lot of speed on the edges, big on the interior. All right. So you don't want to go sideline them. You can't, because they have a lot of speed. Same thing with Texas. You got Anthony Hill. You got Colin Simmons. It was too much speed there. I would not have run a pitch, of all things, where you're literally pitching the ball behind the line of scrimmage. So you're already starting, in a position where it's not favorable for you. I would not have done that play in that situation. But I'm not a head coach making $10 million a year, so I don't know. All right, so DDD fifth says Ewers looked flustered all game. Only great throws were to wide open blown coverages. I wouldn't say look flustered all game, and those weren't the only great throws. Ewers, I think in um, the first half, I think Ewers stepped up into a couple sacks. Okay, it didn't hurt us. And at the end of the second quarter, like midway through the second quarter on, I think he had a pretty damn good game. I don't know what you guys saw that thought that Quinn Ewers lost us this game. All right, so Jay Skill says I didn't say we lost because of him. LOL. We lost because of Sark play calling that toss. Yeah, I mean, okay, Jay, I got what you're saying, but your first thing was I told you Quinn sucks. So when you say something like that, that kind of makes it seem like you're saying that Quinn lost us the game. That had nothing to do with Quinn. Had nothing to do with us losing this game. That was questionable play calling by Steve Sarkisian there on the last drive of offense that really mattered. But Quinn hasn't looked great the whole playoffs. Quinn looked damn good this game. Quinn won us the game against Arizona State. I mean, what do you want? 4th and 13. I mean, like, what do you want? I don't know what do you guys want? Yeah, I'm sorry. Everybody's not Vince Young. Okay, like Vince Young, it's a different character, right? I mean, as great as Colt McCoy was, we didn't win a championship with him, right? Let's keep it real. As great as Bryce Young was at Alabama, he never won a championship. Okay, let's put things into perspective. I'm not putting Quinn in those guys' atmospheres. What I am saying is that there have been quarterbacks that were greater than Quinn that didn't win. Just keep it real. You know, our defense had an outstanding game. Yes, defense played well. Shutting down those deep throws. Yes, the team looked way more explosive with Arch point blank period. I mean, Arch played in 2 games against Louisiana Monroe and Mississippi State. I mean, and your point? I mean, it was Louisiana Monroe and Mississippi State, folks. I mean, come on, man. Like, I get it. Arch is going to be the quarterback next year, right? Let's focus on what happened today. And, no matter what you say about Quinn Ewers, we won 13 games this year. We're, a few plays away from winning the SEC championship game. And we made it to the semifinals again. We're one of the top 4 teams in the country in the playoffs and had a shot to win this game if it wasn't for the bad play calling. These Texas fans sound like some OU fans with Jackson Arnold. You can't blame Ewers when the Texas defense couldn't stop Ohio State with all that running and had the ball for 7 minutes plus. Yes, exactly. No, I love Arch, and if you hear anything, all right, Jay, if you've ever listened to anything that I've said, and obviously you haven't, because if you make a comment like that, I'm on the record saying that I think Arch Manning is the most talented quarterback we have in this team, and I don't think it's close. If you can talk to some other friends, some other channels that I do shows on, yes, he's the most talented quarterback we have on this team. Never, ever, ever. I'm not an Arch hater. I really love Arch Manning. I think he's going to do great here at Texas. Well, all I'm saying is if you're blaming this game on Quinn Ewers and you're saying that Arch looked more explosive against Louisiana Monroe and Mississippi State's the bottom dwellers of the SEC. We probably could have put Hudson Card in those games. He'd have done the same damn thing for Texas. So let's put things into perspective. All right, it is what it is. Ohio State fan, you all put up a fight. It was one hell of a game. Yes, it was a great game. Really great game. Okay, Jay Skills, I got you. Okay. I bet you're a real friend of the party. So, hey, so Jay Skill, I want to ask you a question. What's your assessment of Colt McCoy? Since what you're saying is only thing that matters is championships, and Quinn couldn't win one, but Archie will. So, what's your opinions on Colt McCoy? Because he never won a championship at Texas. I want you to put that in the chat. What is your opinion of Colt McCoy? And this is going to let me know what kind of fan you are. Okay. So Jagger says, I was scared of the run game entering, seeing how we did against Arizona State. Yeah. And you know what? Trey Wisner did pretty well, man. It's just, So how many championships did Colt McCoy win, Jay Skill? Since you said only thing that matters is championships and Quinn couldn't win one. So if that's the case, if that's the point, but the team wasn't good enough for okay. I'm gonna let you have that. Okay. I'm gonna let you have that. They were in a championship game, didn't win it, right? I'm gonna let you have that. Yeah. I would ask you how old you are, but I don't want to know. Okay, so yeah, so DD Fifth says cold is why I hate Alabama. Oh man, what a game. 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 Great, great, great game, man. Even if you're a Texas fan, you got to respect that this was a good game. Great, great game from the receivers too as well. Quinn got the ball out to a lot of people. A lot of people. Let me see. I'm getting a lot of texts. I'm getting a lot of texts, man. Quinn got the ball out to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different receivers in this game, which is awesome. So 23 completions on 10 receivers. Jaden Blue with 2 touchdowns. Matthew Golden came in. He was hurt. He only played a little bit of the first quarter and came in the fourth quarter. I think the last 3 drives. So having Golden, man, out. Isaiah Bum's not healthy. He hasn't been healthy since the last 4 or 5 weeks. Yeah, Jagger Dyer says, "Jay, you tripping?" Yeah, hey, I'm almost to the point where I'm gonna mute Jay. Yeah, I'm not gonna block him, but I'm just gonna mute him. I'm not gonna pay attention because he's not making any sense. Yeah, it's a horrible play call. Yeah, D. So yeah, I'm with you, man. That was a horrible play call. Just having that sweep there on 2nd and goal from the 1 yard line, 1.5 yard line. So Mikey Fitz goes, game wasn't on Quinn as much as he's irked me this year. This game as the missed few calls and the horrible play calling. Yeah. So we had some missed calls, but it's probably on both ends. But the play calling was what stood out to me. Is why we lost this game. So D says, where do you think he's going? NFL transfer portal? I don't know, man. Do you start your clock now? Go to the NFL early? Well, not early. He has 1 more year, but now with the NIL and the transfer portal, man, you got ways to make money in different areas, man. And you're able to, to actually potentially make more money in the portal than you would actually go into the league. Look at Carson Beck. Carson Beck was going to be probably a 2nd or 3rd round pick this year. His season wasn't the best either, but he said he was going to the draft, and then he took that off, and now he's going to the portal, and now he's signing with Miami. So who knows what NIL deal he got, but what we're getting an opportunity. This is what I love about NIL. Instead, you're getting an opportunity where instead of these guys and these kids rushing to go to the NFL to make money, they're able to do it in school. So when they do come out, they're a more seasoned, player who can be a better fit for the NFL and not have to learn on the job. They're getting their kinks out now and learning now. So that's the great thing, man. That's the great thing. I'm really ready to hear Sark's press conference today. It's going to be awesome to hear what he has to say. Transfer portal. He showed he's not the guy to carry. So Jaggers, I'm excited to see. All right, so I'm sorry. Rojaso 7 says Quinn's going to the transfer portal. He showed he's not the guy to carry this team. Okay. Jagger Dyer says, I'm excited to see Arch against Ohio State. Week 1, real test. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. And he's going to have 6 months to prepare. And we shall see. Ohio State's probably going to pick somebody in from the portal as well, too, man. It's going to be very interesting. OKC 43 says go to the NFL learn. Okay. I'm kind of with you on that one too. OKC. I think Quinn Ewers should probably go to the NFL just for the simple fact that man, start your clock, man. The NFL, there's only so many snaps you get. Go in there, start your clock. You get so many years, you can start to get some kind of pension from the NFL early. And I think Quinn's going to be one of those guys who he will have the opportunity to play, but it has to be in the right situation. That's why I think if Quinn falls, which I think he'll probably be in that 2nd or 3rd round range, depends on the team he goes to. If I'm Quinn, I would want to go to a team where you can kind of sit and learn. I would love to go to a team like Miami Dolphins or a team like I'm thinking Miami. I wouldn't want to go to Cleveland at all. At all. A team like, I don't know, I'll say the Saints, but they need a lot of help. Somebody that you can go sit behind a quarterback and learn for a little bit. Kansas City needs a backup. Who better to learn from than Pat Mahomes? And him and Pat Mahomes actually trained together in the summer, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, Quinn should probably go to the NFL, get drafted by a team in the second or third round, or probably third round, and then just learn. Right, learn, be excited, and have the opportunity to potentially take over a team, or if not, be a backup for a long time, just like Colt McCoy, and make a lot of money in the NFL because he's a smart kid. Quinn's pocket awareness is terrible. When the first couple of reads aren't there, he's dead in the water. That's what Frog says. Quinn should hit the portal like Beck. Yeah, so I think everybody knows Quinn's not starting next year. It's the Arch Manning team next year. I think we all understand that. So if Quinn does hit the portal, there's a lot of opportunities for him to go play in a lot of places, man. The only bad thing about what's happening with Quinn now is, he has to go to a team, I think, that's going to have comparable talent. And it's just, where does he go if he hits the portal? I think Quinn goes to the NFL. NFL. Let's see. Jagger Dyer says probably like the Jets. The Jets. Well, I mean, who's he going to learn from? Because I don't see Aaron Rodgers going back. So does Quinn go and you throw him in the fire? I mean, do you think Quinn's going to last in the NFL if he goes to the Jets, right? But anyways, man, shout out to Ohio State. Great game. I got a lot of calls I got to make. I got a lot of friends that probably text me now because they're Ohio State fans and friends that went to Ohio State. And like I said, my stepdad is from Ohio, and my stepsister's from Ohio. She still lives in Ohio. So they're probably going to roast me. So I'm going to let them have their moment. Quinn goes to Oregon. Wouldn't be surprised. You know what? I actually thought about that too. But look, I'm still going to say he goes to the NFL. Get that guaranteed money. Yeah, man, get the guaranteed money and learn. But great game, man. Great game. I'm getting crazy hate from text right now. Jagger Tire. I know, man. People hating it. People hating it, man. It is what it is, man. But hell of a game. Shout out to Ohio State. You guys played your butts off, man. Outstanding game. In your opinion, do we win this game with no? What evidence has Arch Manning given us where I'm just going to not play him the entire year and then I'm going to throw him into a semifinal game and say, go win us the game? I mean, come on. I want to know what evidence do we have from that, right? We don't have any evidence. If Ark would have started the entire game, maybe. The entire season, yes, that's a different story. But I'm not gonna. That's like, you can't do that to that kid. Like, not play him, but 2 games or 3 games after the entire season early. Don't play him the entire season, and then in the semifinals game say, "Oh, we're gonna let you start, and why don't you go out there and beat Ohio State? Has been kicking everybody's butt, right?" So, the only thing that I think Arch would have definitely done a little bit better in this. Arch is he's so much better with his feet, right? And so a lot of those plays where Quinn was kind of running into sacks. I think he ran into 2 sacks today. The rest of the sacks were not on Quinn. Cam Williams, he didn't touch Sawyer at all in that last play on the strip sack. I don't care who's the quarterback. Arch is going to get sacked there too. It might not have been a strip sack, but he's going to get sacked there too, right? I mean, so it just is what it is. You got to, look at these games, take the emotion out of it, and see what happens. I have been a Texas fan for a long time. This is from DDFF. Okay, he says, I've been a Texas fan for a long time. My first UT game was to see Ricky Williams. In all the years, I've not seen a player fool the fan base so hard. Ewers is mid at best. He'll probably play that. Come on, man. That's a stupid comment. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's not a. Yeah, that's kind of funny. All right, because that's not true. So let's take a look. Yeah, exactly. That's like when we threw Arch in against Georgia. What happened when we threw him in against Georgia? He had deer in the headlights, right? Let's just keep it real. He had deer in the headlights because he had never seen anything like that. You just can't do that. This is, you can't do that. One thing I do want to say, Texas defense, man, they held Jeremiah Smith to 1 catch for 3 yards. Like, kudos to the Texas secondary. Kudos to the Texas secondary. And that was one thing I was worried about because Chip Kelly, you're talking about a hell of an offensive coordinator. All right. A hell of an offensive coordinator. Chip Kelly will put that guy in any position just to make sure that he gets his matchup. They put him all over. They had Manny on him. They had Barron on him. They had Gilbaugh, I think, was on him a couple plays. He could not get open. And that's kudos to PK and the defense. Yeah, they did a great job on Jeremiah Smith. Tate was the guy who kind of opened it up, though, with those 7 catches for 87 yards. And also, he dropped a touchdown, too. They still scored a touchdown to drive, but he dropped a touchdown. But, man, yeah, great game. Great game plan from the Texas defense, man. Let's take a look. Jagger Dyer says, why y'all hate on Quinn like he sold the whole game? I know, man. It's kind of ridiculous. I know people want to win the game bad, but that is not a game on Quinn at all. At all. That game was, I think that game was on Sark's coaching. That's just my opinion. Let's look at some more comments here, man. You guys are putting a lot of comments in the chat here. You guys love it when Texas loses because you guys come with all the comments. You guys are ready. This is a good comment though. Quinn goes to Oregon. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised either. Oregon's losing Dylan Gabriel. Teams that have the opportunity to go win, they go get a seasoned quarterback, and Texas has kind of groomed theirs. But Ohio State has their seasoned quarterback in Will Howard. Quinn's season, I can see him going to a team. But look, I think Quinn's going to the NFL. That's just my opinion. Let's look at this comment here. Texas coaching and the offense has let the defense down all year. Texas offensive coaching. Yeah. Texas coaching on the offense side of the ball. Yep. Texas coaching on the offense side of the ball. I think definitely that cost us this game. I still bring it back. First and goal from the 1. Yeah. First and goal from the 1. And we got no points. Actually, we got a strip sack from the 8-yard line. So that was it. Great defensive stand. You know who else gets the game ball, man? Colin Simmons. Colin Simmons was the best defender on the field this year. On the field this game. For Texas. He got held plenty of times. Didn't get those holding calls called. He played an outstanding game. Shout out to Colin Simmons, man. Yeah, he just had a great game. He had a really, 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 really good game. And Texas fans, be on the lookout for him to be Mr. Everything next year on every list, every defensive player of the year list, every preseason All-American list. Just understand that we got next year, the year after that, and he's going to be a first-round draft pick. He has the bend, he has the acceleration, he has the strength already at 18, 19 years old. Just imagine once he gets a full off season in a college workout program, which he already had like a college light program down at Duncanville. So shout out to Duncanville, man. They almost won it this year. They lost to Crowley, but I got some friends that coach in their team. Shout out to Coach Hobbs. Yeah, man. Simmons is a beast. All right, Sandman goes first and goal at the 1-yard line, and you're on a sweep on second down. Yeah, that was not a good look. That was not a good look. I gotta laugh to keep from crying, man. Not a good look. Come on, Texas. Oh my God. All right, Simmons is a beast. Yes, he is. Simmons is a beast. Coming out of Duncanville High School. Fun fact: my sister and brother went to Duncanville High School, so I got a lot of love for Duncanville High School. Watched that school get built. Who was the basketball player you had? Was it Chris Owens? Yeah, it was Chris Owens. Yeah, Chris Owens, right? That played at Texas. He was there, and I was there too. I can't believe I don't remember his name. Who was it? Tamika Catchings that played there too. Ended up going to Tennessee. I think so. Jagger Dyer goes, we get the ball up so much on offense, our defense gets tired. Example, Arizona State, our defense let go in the third quarter. Yeah. But Man, our defense played their butts off this game. I'm not hating. They gave up 3 scores, right? 3 scoring drives. They gave up the drop in the first half, in the first quarter, the first drive. They gave up the last play for Ohio State in the first half, and they gave up 1 scoring drive in the fourth quarter, start the fourth quarter. Texas's offense should be able to match 21 points, y'all. They should. All the firepower we got, they should be able to match 21 points. And I look at that. I think that was malpractice when it comes to the play calling for Sark there, man. I was not enthusiastic about that play call. So it is what it is, man. Great season about Texas, man. Hey, all is not doom and gloom. Texas, first year in the SEC, a couple plays away from winning the SEC in his first year. Texas makes it to the semifinals again. They're one of the top 4 teams in the country. It just sucks because I know if Texas would have won this game, they were going to beat the crap out of Notre Dame. And I think Ohio State's going to beat the crap out of Notre Dame. That's just my opinion. So I wouldn't say beat the crap, but they were going to win the game. All right. So I don't have a lot of faith in Notre Dame. Their defensive line, I don't think can stack up. They're a tad bit smaller, and I think they can get had. And so I look at Ohio State winning the game. But what a great game, man. I mean, honestly, no matter who you were going for in this game, what a great game. You know, Texas does their thing. They had a great game plan here to start off with. But Ohio State just came out and won the game. And you got to give Ohio State their props. They had a hell of a game. Let's print a few more comments before we get out of here, man. RD held a team that blew out the number 1 team in the country. Yeah, man. Our defense is going to be salty. We already got 2 defensive tackles coming in from the portal this year. We're losing a lot, man. We're losing Sevilla. We actually redshirted him, so he's hitting the portal. Lole, he's gone, probably hitting the draft. Norton is gone too as well. We're losing Alfred Collins, losing Vernon Broughton. That's 5, man. And so now we got to have guys to actually step up. Right. So Alex January is going to play big this year. It hurts losing Sadir Mitchell going to LSU, but we got guys like Melvin Hill, who's a friend of the channel. If you go to NinosCornerSports.com, you'll see we've had Melvin on the channel a couple of times. I actually sent him a text after the last win and like just congratulate them guys on the win. But you got guys like Melvin Hill, you got guys like Alex January. You got the 2 studs that we got coming in from the portal. We got the guys in the recruiting cycle, Justice Terry, Myron, what's the guy's name? It's Myron Charles, right? And we had one more. Let me look it up while I got you guys on. I gotta look it up, man. I love recruiting. But my mind is just so spun up on this game, man. It's just crazy. But Texas needs about 2 more. 2 more, man. 2 more defensive tackles. Because there is anything can happen, man. Anything can happen, whether it is injuries, whether it is just having depth. That's what makes the great teams who they are. They have depth along the lines. But Texas needs to go out and get a couple more defensive linemen, man. So if Texas wants to be a just a formidable defense here next year, they got to go get some more interior help from the defensive line. We got the exterior, we got the edge rushers, man. We got let me see. Yep. Texas is the number 1 team in recruiting. But we got the edges. We got guys like Ethan Burke coming back. We got Colin Simmons. We got Zena. He's coming back to us well. I'm not worried about the edges, man. We saw Colton Vosick out there playing today too as well. So we saw kind of a youth movement, right? We got, Ant Hill, who's our linebacker, who rushes very well too. He comes off very well off the edge. We got guys that are going to come in here and play great snaps, man, for this team. I'm excited about it. So looking at in the recruiting class, Justice Terry, he's a defensive lineman, interior, all over the field. The edge, Lance Jackson, who I think is going to play a lot next year too as well. This is the youth movement for folks. Yeah, Myron Charles, I already called his name, and I'm missing one more. Oh yeah, Josiah Sharman, 6'4", 320. Myron Charles, 6'4", 300. Justice Terry, another guy, about 285, 290 pounds too as well, man. So awesome game by Texas, man. Awesome game. Even though Texas lost, man, awesome game. So on that note, folks, man. Oh, well, hold on. We got more comments coming. I learned how good our D ends were from CFP 25. You talking about the video game, Jagger? You talking about the video game? You learned how good our defensive ends were from the video game? That's crazy, bro. That's funny though. Anyways, great game by Ohio State. Kudos. Hand clap. Hand clap Ohio State. You guys did great. Texas, great season. 13-3. Semifinals. You guys played well. I wish the play call were a little bit better, but great season this year, man. A couple plays short from winning the championship, but it is what it is, man. But on that note, folks, man, this is the end of the season here for Texas. Again, you'll probably see me again next year with the Bleacher Report again, man. Catch us the College Football Roundtable, myself, Steve, and Ty, and Jay. Also, man, catch me on NinosCornerSports.com or just go to Ninos Corner Sports on YouTube and you catch all these videos. Which we do Texas content, just starting to branch out to and just do more than Texas content. Shout out to all the loyal fans of the channel. Shout out to all the loyal fans who come in here every week, where we talk Texas ball after a win or after a loss. And a couple shout outs to a few family members, wide receiver from Colorado, Omarion Miller is one of the cousins, and also another cousin of mine, Bryce Starling there, man, from Oklahoma Baptist University, man. So great football season, guys. And just like I got no game, he says, I thought Quinn played a pretty good game. I agree. So on that note, let me see. Jagger goes, when I go live. We're gonna see when I'm gonna go live now, because we got to figure out now that the season's over. But I will just tune into the channel, man. Go to the channel, Ninos Corner Sports, and subscribe to it, man. And and that way you'll see when I go live. But folks, on that note, man, it's been about 40 minutes, man. We appreciate you guys tuning in, man. I love you guys for tuning in, man. Shout out to Ohio State for winning the game. Texas had a great season, too, as well, man. Appreciate what Texas has done. But on that note, man, we're going to hook them all day long. Them horns are always up. Hook them, folks. Great season.